Back, a suspect has been arrested in connection to Saturday night's shooting of 3 college students of Palestinian descent in Burlington, Vermont. A 48-year-old white male was detained yesterday after law enforcement found probable cause during a search warrant on his apartment to arrest the suspect. The alleged shooter will be arraigned in court later today. This comes as 2 of his victims are in stable condition while 1 sustained more serious injuries. The group of friends were in Burlington for Thanksgiving break, having known each other since attending the same Quaker school in the West Bank. The friends were walking to a relative's home at the time of the attack, speaking Arabic and wearing traditional Palestinian scarves. Police say the suspected shooter did not say a word before he fired at least 4 times, hitting all 3 men. Families are asking law enforcement to investigate the shooting as a hate crime.
This is so horrific. These 3 young men actually went to schools across the Northeast, and they met up for Thanksgiving at the home of one of the friends.
In Burlington, Vermont.
In Burlington, Vermont. And then they went out. And now, of course, we have been warned not to immediately jump to the conclusion that it's a hate crime because, of course, that's what happened in Detroit with the woman who was killed,
right.
who was a synagogue leader right after the terror attacks, and that ended up not being a hate crime. That said, the fact that these 3 young men are from 3 different colleges came together to celebrate Thanksgiving and were just walking down the street, and again, 2 wearing traditional Palestinian scarves,
yeah,
makes it
really
hard to assume it was anything but a hate crime. But again, the FBI will be investigating that, and to talk about that process, let's bring in NBC News investigations correspondent Tom Winter. Tom, just an absolute tragedy in Vermont. Talk about what the FBI is going to be looking at.
Well, I think they're going to be looking at a whole host of things. So how this all went down yesterday, according to the chief of police, who emailed reporters directly at 12:33 this morning announcing the arrest, shortly after 3:30 p.m., ATF agents who were in the area of where this shooting occurred apparently encountered the individual who was arrested, who's been identified as Jason Eaton, 48, of Burlington, Vermont, quite close to the shooting. We'll get to that in a second. So they're canvassing the area approximately 3:30 yesterday afternoon. They encounter him. They take him into custody, and then the U.S. Attorney's Office, along with the Chittenden County District Attorney, the local district attorney there, get a search warrant for his residence shortly before 10 p.m. last night. And according to the chief of police, John Murad, he says that based on that search and based on the information that they developed in the course of the investigation, they developed enough probable cause to make an arrest. Where was that search conducted? It was conducted in the apartment building directly across, apparently, from where the shooting occurred, and that's where this individual lives. So we know that they at least live in that area. He at least lives in that area. And then I think the question here this morning, it is arraignment. We know who, we know how, and the big question, to your point, Joe and Mika, I think is why.
So, Tom, can you tell us a little bit more about, and I know it's early hours here, but what investigators do know about the exchange, of what actually happened in that moment before he opened fire, and if there's anything in the suspect's history that would suggest, that would lend further credence to the idea that this might be a targeted or biased attack?
Right. So based on what the chief put out on yesterday afternoon, this shooting, which occurred Saturday night, approximately 6:25 p.m., apparently this individual walks up to them and just starts firing, that there was nothing that was said ahead of time. As far as this individual's background, that's something we're still digging through, and I'm sure that they're digging through as well on the law enforcement side. Of course, we know the ATF obviously made the arrest. They're critical with the ballistics information. The FBI there, to Joe's point, I think they're going to try to determine at this point, along with the U.S. Attorney's Office, were there any statements that were made subsequent to that when he was in custody? What did they find at the home? What did they find on his digital media devices to that end? And more direct to Joe's question, the FBI was helpful in this. According to the chief of police and according to the FBI, they were working with their cell site analysis teams, which could, of course, locate where an individual is if they have their cell phone on. But they also had their computer teams, the CART teams there. Perhaps they found something on his digital devices, which at some point here we might find out could be helpful in determining motive.
All right, NBC News investigations correspondent Tom Winter, thank you very much. Let's